All right, folks, so I'm going to go ahead and do the 5-tire rotation on this 4Runner, and you'll see what I mean by 5-tire rotation. I did get an extra Toyota rim, and when I bought these tires, I bought an extra one of the same kind of tire to be able to rotate all 5 tires. And as I go through this process of taking all the tires off and rotating them correctly, I'll try to explain why I think a 5-tire rotation is good, maybe in particular for somebody that does off-roading as opposed to maybe just on-road.
Okay, before we get further into this video, we'll talk about the advantages or disadvantages of where the spare tire is located. So in the 4Runner, it's located much like a pickup truck. It's up under the back of the vehicle. Now, the drawback to this is obviously it's a little bit harder to access. You need some specific tools. You do need to be able to open up the hatch to get access to it. So most of these things are good things, or some of these things can be a pain in the butt rather, but some of them can be good. It can be more secure to have the spare tire there versus where it might be in a Jeep Wrangler or Ford Bronco. But the other drawback is there's a limited time. As you can see, I'm using the flashlight here to try to find out where this thing is, and which I end up doing. And it's not that difficult to know where it is, and if you can just remember, it's sort of at an angle. But you do need to open a hatch. With the other two vehicles, they probably just don't have the space underneath the vehicle either. But they do have better departure angles as well, so there's a plus to that. So I think it just depends on what you're doing. This is the largest tire I can fit under there. Anything larger than this, I actually will have to use, tailgate mounted or a bumper mounted spare tire holder because this is smacked up against all the surfaces underneath the 4Runner at the time, so it's not going to handle any bigger tire than basically slightly over 33 inches. So unfortunately, I don't have the wealth or the space to have a lift, so I kind of have to do everything kind of like what I would call old school or poor man's mechanic kind of stuff, where I have to jack up everything with floor jacks, use jack stands, and kind of do all that jazz.
Okay, before I get too far in this, and I'll show you this schematic on the screen, but basically the rear tires are going to go forward, but then beyond that, it's sort of like counterclockwise. So the spare will go to this rear tire will come up here. This tire will go to the rear on the other side, that rear will come to the front, and then the front will become the new spare. That's kind of how the breakdown goes.
Okay, so I'll quickly comment on how lazy or sort of stupid I am by using a star wrench as opposed to power tools, which I will often do, but I've traditionally done the star wrench thing, so I'm kind of stuck doing that sometimes. So in this video, I wanted to go over 3 advantages to doing a 5-tire rotation, and then really there's only 1 disadvantage, and I'll get into that right now. Advantage number 1, having the same type of tire every time you rotate tires, or if you need an extra tire for your spare. So case in point, this came with ridge grapplers to begin with. This is a different size tire now, but they were all ridge grapplers except for the street tire that was the spare tire. So if I'm out on the trail, then I have something go wrong. I have to put a street tire on the vehicle to get out of a trail situation or off-road situation, which isn't ideal. So having rotating all the tires at once maintains the fact that you have all the same type of tire. Advantage number 2 is pretty obvious too. All your tires are the same size. So if I upgraded the first time, I went from a 265/70 to a 255/80. Well, if I kept the same spare tire, the spare tire is over an inch smaller than my current tire. So if I have to put the spare tire on there, everything's going to be mismatched. So that's not good either. It's good to have the same, 5 tires that you can rotate interchangeably at any time. The third advantage is your spare tire never goes bad. It doesn't expire out. It doesn't get dry rotted. It's in the rotation the whole time. So there's really no issue at all with, you know, a tire going bad that you never use and you're just kind of throwing away money. Now somebody's going to say, but each time you buy tires, you're not going to buy 4 tires, you're going to buy 5 tires. Well, that's true, but you're going to have to pay 25% more for tires each time. However, you're going to go 25% more miles because you're giving each of the tires a, 20% break as time goes on. So you're rotating them in and out, and through the cycle, so they all maintain the same, basic, tread wear.
Well, that's not too bad. 32 pounds down. So I'll air that one up. I'm not going to air up the other ones because they were aired up just a few days ago to 32.
So really the only drawback you have is that you have to buy, in this case with a 4Runner, you have to buy a spare tire the first time you go to the 5-tire rotation. Of course, if you upgrade rims on the other tire, on a Bronco or a Jeep, you're going to have to buy, a 5th tire and a 5th rim each time too, not just the 4 that you're initially going to. So if you like this video and you found it helpful, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. That would help me out and help the channel out. And if you want to see more videos on the vehicles I work on or the things I do to them, or some home projects I have, you can hit the subscribe button as well. I appreciate you watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.